now.
Welcome. Sit down, roll up, pour up, turn up and tune in. Because you're now watching the Buncher Bull Network.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the world's dopest podcast, the Marley State of Mind podcast. Down here at the Bunch of Bull Studios like we do every week. And tonight, I got two special guests in the house. As a collective, they're BBGuns, but separately it's Barz, Blackmon, and Lazy JP. What's up, fellas?
What's going on? Thanks for having us, Marley.
Oh, man, I'm glad to have you guys. I told you I was excited to have you down here, and which is true. Y'all caught us talking about playoff football. It's playoff time right now. For those who are watching this in syndication, it's playoff football time in Pittsburgh, so
sure,
certainly it's a holiday, if you will.
Magical time
for sure. So how you guys feeling, man? It's been a long time. I don't think I've seen. Last time I seen you was at Freddie Gibbs. We opened up for Freddie Gibbs.
Oh yeah, at Smalls, right?
No, that was at Fox's. It
was yeah. That's right. The second time I went. Yeah.
And I don't know the last time I seen you, JP. It's been a minute.
I feel like I thought I did, maybe, but it's been a long time.
I usually like to kick off the podcast by saying how I was introduced to the artist or creative I have on. So my first interaction with you guys, it was you, JP. It was down at the Z Lounge. Do you remember this?
Absolutely do.
Do you remember this? Okay.
Ziggity at the Z Lounge. I remember they used to do the showcases down there. I think we met through Brenna, I believe.
Yep. Rest in peace to Ivory.
That
was an Ivory event. Much love to Ivory, and those events were special, right? Because you had to be like a real MC at that time to be on those events, and if you were on those events, you made it like in a certain subculture of Pittsburgh hip hop. Right?
Yeah. It was a very different time, different structure. We've been thinking about it a lot, like how much stuff has changed, the pros of like that era, like the cons of that era, like as far as like like pay to play stuff and whatnot. But yeah, it was cool way to break in, and I honestly can't believe that I was accepted into the community at the time, but I'm very thankful because I feel like it helped develop me into the artist I am today. And linking up with this guy and meeting a lot of cool people. A lot of people that are connected to because I feel like I got in at the end of the Shadow Lounge era. I did a couple Proud to Be Locals and stuff like that. So I got to experience the end of that culture. And then a lot of the people that were like big into the end of that scene, were kind of the things they were doing after that. So it was really cool to say that I've been a part of that.
We like to reflect on it as a golden era. I was talking to Real Deal. What up, Real Deal? And we were calling it the golden era, and not because we were a part of it, but it really felt like a time where it was possible, right? Because Wiz just got on. Mac was doing a lot of shows, and some of the same shows we were doing at the Z Lounge, the Shadow Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of our contemporaries, and we got to see him come up, and then he made it, and it felt like, oh, this is really a thing that we can do coming out of Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone has felt like had an extra little bit of drive and motivation, and was inspired by these guys who were doing these big things. And like you said, there were a lot of pros and cons. The pay to play being one of the cons of the time, which, for the record, Monsters of the Mic was not a pay to play.
No, it wasn't. We played on that.
You just had to be certified. You just had to be.
Yep,
I
remember
spitter.
Monsters of the Mic.
As it should be. As it always should be.
Mm-hmm.
As it should be, right? And so that was a great time. And when you talk about pros and cons of that era, you name one of the cons. What was one of the pros that you guys came up with?
You gotta.
I mean, those sort of arenas, because obviously when you have a performance sort of thing, an art thing, not everybody can go ahead and get big money for a variety of reasons. So like you need things like showcases and open mics and stuff to allow people to cut their teeth, to be able to go ahead and grow as performers as artists, get real feedback, all those sort of things. So like the sort of things that were in the pay-to-play structure at the time were things that were needed. You just don't need to go ahead and be, I can personally consider it predatory and to go ahead and make it happen.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be charging people to go ahead and make your function pop.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense at all. Would you pay to go to work?
Right.
So why are we doing this?
Right.
And then eventually you can go ahead and move past that as you make better music, as you garner more renown around the area or within certain circles. You can go ahead and get to that point where now you're starting to do shows where you split the door or whatever it is, and people start making money. That's what we did with our residency that we
Yes.
did last year.
Yeah.
We went ahead, the venue got theirs. We went ahead and made sure everybody got some money in their pocket.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. Because like, even if it's a little bit, like it's still something. It's something that you earned for your work.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
everybody should go ahead and be able to get to a point where they can get paid for their work.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing, right? And we definitely want to talk about the residency because that's a big deal. And you guys were did some groundbreaking things with that, and you know the culture should appreciate what you were able to provide with that, and we'll certainly get into that as we move forward. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I heard I watched your interview with Malik, the Cool Brother podcast for sure.
Shouts out Malik.
Yeah, shouts out to Malik for sure. He's been a visitor. Make sure y'all check out the podcast with Malik, the Cool Brother I did with him. He's doing some great things, and the podcast is one of them. But I remember you guys mentioned that that very thing about paid to play, and you mentioned how you thought it was predatory. And I would have to agree with you for sure. I think a lot of people did take advantage of artists who were looking for a stage to perform on. And they didn't have those things. As you're getting into it, you don't have those things. So you're willing to do anything to have people hear you. And like you said, a lot of times it'll just be a whole bunch of MCs and not really a crowd.
Yeah, you don't have a show for 10, like it'd be 20 MCs for 10 minutes.
And their girlfriends.
You'd be playing
Yeah.
for them and their girlfriends, yeah. So like there was that, and that was like the con, but I like the one pro we were actually just, I think, bringing up maybe with somebody, is there was a community. There was a lot of talent, and like there was a lot of like suburban rich kids that started getting in for the wrong reasons to chase like the dream of being Mac Miller or whatever or Wiz. But there was like the blog system that was very strong, and the blog system, like this is one thing like a lot of these young newer guys don't understand with the IG pages that they're running. They're doing like all pay to play, and it's like. The way the blogs worked before is they actually curated what they thought was dope. Like
Right.
Rap Pittsburgh Hip Hop was one of the bigger ones.
Shout out Rep Pittsburgh Hip Hop.
That was a
Came on.
yeah, Kristen. That was a classic blog, honestly.
Yeah, it was.
And
Brandon
she gave me a chance early, and Brandon BMW, PGH,
Yep.
I Move I Live. I could keep going. They give people a chance if they thought they were good. Like they would, if they liked the song, they would post it.
And it
they,
made it more legit, right? Those people that were on there, you wanted to get to know who they were because you knew they were legit.
yeah, so they became like local tastemakers. You could pay for an ad, like if you needed some views, and sometimes the ads would be like fake views or whatever. But like it was a tangible thing you were paying for. It wasn't just like everything on this IG promo page. Everyone is paid to get their post.
Right.
Like that doesn't
That
mean
cheapens it.
that means like why do I need to follow this page because there's no curation. It's just like everyone paid to get on it. So there's
You're not sending me anything dope. You're sending me the stuff that people pay for.
yeah, so it could be dope, it could be bad.
Right.
Like I need something curated. I don't have time to be sifting through it for you. Like I feel like it makes the consumer have to do the work of curating what's
Themselves.
good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something I really miss. And like I don't think blogs are going to come back in the way that they were, but there's still tons of them that they exist out there in the underground, and it is like what kind of keeps the like underground music and not just rap kind of going and alive. It's the tastemakers and whatnot,
The real curators,
curation,
yeah.
yeah.
For sure. So yeah, we're talking about the pros and cons of that time period and some of the things that worked. And I recalled seeing you in the Z Lounge, and I was impressed immediately. Whenever I seen you, I think I have a pretty good ear for those things. I always feel like I can recognize talent right away, and for you, it was unique. I like things that are unique, right? I like things that sound different than other things, and you were skillful at that, right? It wasn't just that you were unique; you were skillful. For you, Barz Blackmon, I heard about you later on with JP, and same thing. And I was amazed that you were at the same level as he was, doing what he was doing, and you had the same type of unique flair. So the marriage made sense to me. But even prior to that, JP, you were in the other groups before that, right?
No, I don't. I think I was just by myself, and then, but then I was a part of like the elevator music team thing. If that counts as a group, then I was affiliated with DJ Afterthought and his whole squadron of artists at the time.
Choreo at the time, right?
Also, Choreo is like we did like a super group with Joel and Choreo. It was called
And
Spit
Afterthought,
Street,
too.
Afterthought,
Yeah.
and What If was involved.
Yeah. That's what I was referring to.
Oh yeah. Like he was basically If was almost the third member for at least the first record, and taught me a lot about like making records and mixing and stuff like that. That like I actually mixed our last record myself this is the first time I've done that before, and I feel like I did a decent job. And a lot of that is just like watching what he was doing and learning from that. But I've been affiliated with lots of different characters over the years.
How did that come about? How did you make those connections? How did you end up getting involved in those type of things? And have you always been a fan of like collaborative things?
Yeah, I am. I think that's a big. I think it's cool to work with different kinds of voices and skill sets and stuff that's like outside of what you can already do. So I think I reached out to folks, and like there was just things that I knew I couldn't achieve with like what I was doing, and I think that's ultimately what evolved into us doing our thing together. Was like it's like two sides. Like we have that overlap of sound, but we also do completely different things with our raps. And like your flows are more bouncy and more modern. Sometimes my stuff gets a little more like offbeat kind of abstracter raps. And but there's like the through line of just like lyrical, good bars. But yeah, I don't know.
So when you were doing those shows initially, were you guys already friends? Were you guys already acquainted at that time?
We grew up in the same area.
We went to the same
everything.
high school,
We went to the
yeah.
same high school and all that. So we've like known each other and have crossed paths like through just like regular mutual friends,
Yeah.
mutual activities, like that sort of thing. And then eventually that grew into starting to like bounce off each other's heads about albums we were listening to and just like hanging out and all that. He was starting to go ahead and get into rapping and everything. I had been rapping for a little bit ahead of time, but not anything like too deep.
Right.
And then we
Were
kind
you
of like
recording?
had a couple of songs that I recorded, but those are long. MySpace is dead, so those are long lost to the archives of the internet.
Right.
But yeah, we just started bouncing things off of each other, and became like it sort of started as like a frequent collaborator sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'd be on tracks with him, he'd be on tracks with me, I'd be on his album, he would be on my project,
Right.
that sort of thing.
You guys indulge? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We
so
started
then it just-
we would hype man for each other a
Yeah,
lot.
that too. Whenever we do shows, and that's probably another way that you might have seen me like early before like I like did shows myself and
Yes,
rapped.
yeah.
Like hype manning for him, and we would do that sort of thing and work together, or we'd be on the same bill and sort of like one of us would
Feature
hype man for the other
songs.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, and just do that
yep.
sort of thing for a while, and then it just sort of evolved into us going ahead and being like, well, if we're gonna go ahead and do this, like we might as well. We're probably better off like combining our power,
Being a collaborator.
and doing it the whole way because we do it already,
Right.
and just we've been doing that ever since.
Do you? Sorry. Do you remember when T.J. Harris had the prom? It was like they did like a prom thing. I forget. It was at the.
It was at James Street. Was it?
No, it was at Levels, or wasn't it?
No,
No, it was at
at
James Street. Yeah, it was at James Street, and there was a bunch of people on. It was like everybody and their brother. It was like 50 acts. It was over 2 days or something. And me and Joel were both on it with separate sets. And I asked him, like, oh, we hype man for each other. Can we just go back to back?
Yeah.
And then that way, it'll just be easy for everybody. We won't have to, there'll be Joe changeover. And we basically used it to get like a full like 20
Bigger set.
plus set.
Right, yeah, it's brilliant.
And we did
Yeah,
collaborative
yeah.
songs together. And then it became, and it went, and it killed. Like we killed. And that was when we're like, we should just do this all the time. Like we should just perform together period. And that was kind of where it went from there.
So when you guys first, so it grew from that show. It grew from that show.
That was
so
the official like jump off.
That
so
was
you guys were already
yeah.
constant collaborators with one another. You were pretty much doing things as if you were a group. But when you seen that it took well in the show, you were like, yeah, we need to make this official.
Yeah. I think we filled in some of each other's weaknesses and like that both of us together brought like so much more energy that it resonated with folks.
So what was the So I remember the first name wasn't BBGuns.
That's correct.
It was not. It was not.
I know you're cringe about this, huh?
Yes.
It's funny. I got a story about this as well, right? From a different perspective, which you'll probably enjoy. So the original name was Lazy Blackman, right?
Correct.
Right.
Which was our names put together.
Which was their Lazy
to
JP.
be very clear.
Yeah,
Lazy
Barz
JP, Barz Blackman put together.
It was an edgy time.
I see your face whenever I started bringing it up, and once again I seen the Malik interview, and he didn't know. I knew the answer.
It's
to the
inevitable, though. Inevitable question.
But I knew the answer to the question, and I seen the way that you answered it. You didn't reference the name, which is whatever. It was both of your names combined.
Yeah.
I meant nothing by it. But funny story about your name. My man Quest came up to me. He's like, "Yo, who's lazy? Who's the white dude, Lazy Blackman?"
Yeah, that's when we decided to stop.
And he was like mad. Like I was like, nah, bro. I was like, it's a group. I was like, it's Barz Blackman and Lazy JP. He was like, oh, because I was bugging. I'm like, yo, why is the white dude calling himself Lazy Blackman? I'm like, nah, bro, that's not.
Yeah,
That's
that
not
started
what that
happening
was.
too much.
Yeah,
and I'd be by myself. And I'd be like out by myself. And like, yo, that's the guy from Lazy Blackman. And I'm like, oh, no. And I have to explain, like, no, the other half is the black guy. And his name is Barz Blackman.
It got
it's
weird.
too much.
Yeah,
too
because
much.
especially in certain spaces, you have to go ahead and like set that precedent off rip because you go ahead and you go to the wrong spots,
Right.
Stuff like that.
We were doing
It
more
could be a
shows like
disaster.
indie rock kind of bands. And like, it was just like a time where edgy stuff wasn't as cool, and not that it was cool ever. That
Right.
name was not probably that cool, but it felt not acceptable, and it was just more of a push to come up with something different.
Right. Now, did you guys release any music under like any projects? I should say. I know you released music, but any projects?
Yeah,
under
there's
Lazy Blackman.
Just the
there's
one
one
mixtape.
tape. There's one tape, and then after that was
Rock Lobster,
yeah.
yeah, it's on the Bandcamp.
Lobster,
It's still like as BB. We just like if you look at the cover of the tape on our Bandcamp, it still says Lazy Blackman.
For sure. So, you guys come together initially as Lazy Blackman. What was the reception like? Did you guys notice, like, especially because you were so heavily involved in the scene? I noticed firsthand. You guys were very active, doing a lot of shows at the time. What was the reception like when people seen that you guys were officially a group together?
I think people reacted better to us together in the music that we had as like together as a group than what they might have necessarily did us individually. Like I think we both had songs. Like
Right.
Don't get me wrong, but I think that together it made it more interesting because there also weren't like a ton of like duos running around at the same time,
Right.
But at the same
There were
time,
there were more groups, but not too many duos.
Yeah,
there'd
it's
be
true.
like whole squads, like there'd be whole squads of dudes, but there weren't just like duos anymore.
Yeah.
And then like a lot of but you had like the 58s, but they weren't necessarily at that time like as active, maybe.
Right.
If
we had JSP, Justice Street Poets. Shout out to them boys, Commonwealth Family, of course, one of my favorites.
yeah. Oh man, I love me some Commonwealth
Yeah,
Family
me too.
Roscoe's.
There was a bunch of groups. What was that one? Oh man.
Heroes and Terrorists.
Bilderberg.
shout out
Yeah, I
to
remember
one.
Bilderberg. Yeah, I remember H&T. They were good, and I still talk to
Come Up
to
Boys.
Lum.
Come
Yeah.
Up, of course, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, there was a whole bunch. Folkland, of course.
Folkland.
shout
Yeah.
out-
They're a duo, right?
Yeah, they're a duo. Shout
Yeah,
out
they're the
Folkland.
other duo. Yeah.
Grown folks. I don't know how new grown folks might be, but there's them.
Now, yeah.
But yeah, shout out to all of them. So you guys, you're right. There wasn't many duos. A few duos.
What was
for
that?
Sure.
What was that act? It was like wasn't one of them named like Mystery, like Ron Mystery?
Oh, Mystery and Sneak.
Mystery and Sneak.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mystery and Sneak.
That's his
That's
name. That was his
That's
name.
That is his
Mystery
name.
was
That
his
is
name.
Yeah. Ron, I can't remember his last, but yeah, Mystery and Sneak definitely was heavy at the
Fortified
time.
Phonetics, like Mo and Nadon.
And
yeah. They were a duo.
Apex.
Oh, no, they were three. 'Cause the
Apex.
DJ.
Shout
Kid
out
A,
Yeah,
Apex.
Apex.
Kid A and them.
Oh,
the
the
camp.
camp.
Yeah, the camp. Shout out, legendary.
Oh yeah,
Legendary.
Super group of its time.
yeah. A lot
There
of
was
great,
a lot of talent in the
Shout
scene
out
for
Ray,
sure.
shout out Deuce.
the golden era.
Yeah, there was a lot of talent. As much as there was a lot of outside people that were getting into it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a core of a ton of talent.
There's a lot of genuine people too. Like folks really like. Folks weren't weird. Like if they fucked with you, they like fucked with you.
It was more of a community,
showed
right?
real
Yeah,
love.
it was a
there was more of a
community, yeah.
community.
Now it's like, I think the internet made things weird, like, because you got to keep this persona now, right? People build up this online persona, and then when they get in person, if they're not that person, then they have to try to keep up with this persona that they
Yeah.
have.
We just talked about this yesterday about how there's a need. Well, I wouldn't say a need, but there's like an expectation by fans these days for artists to be more accessible,
Right.
And like laying your thoughts, feelings, opinions, all that on the table all the time. And like I don't necessarily like that shit because I just have a regular life and I'm a regular person. Like
Right.
I'm not that interesting first and foremost, but
Right.
I just don't need people to go ahead and know everything about my life and all that. It's just not necessary in my opinion.
I feel like towards the end of like with Facebook, it was encouraging everyone to be making hot takes all the time about stuff, and then I think to get like interaction, like and everyone's getting like likes to say something spicy, and then I feel like it started causing fractures between a lot of these different factions, and like yeah, even me, like I was like would pop off sometimes on Facebook, and I'm like in person, like I don't talk that much, and then like I'm not the friendliest person. And it just felt like weird. Like I don't know why I'm just performing to get likes to be I don't know controversial or something.
Did you feel that pressure?
Sometimes I think there's points where it's like you feel like you wanted to get the likes, keep the likes going, so that when I post a song that it'll do better,
Plus the dopamines you're getting from that, right?
yeah, the dopamine from the likes. Yeah, I think you start. That's like going down the path of the dark side, and like getting into things for the wrong reasons, making art for the wrong reasons, and anytime we go down that path, it's never been good for us, So that I think now that we've let go of those kinds of pretensions and like making it or whatever, it's just like put out. Let's just try to make a dope record and put it out, and we're gonna try hard to get people to listen to it. But that's why we're here. It is what it is. I'm not gonna lose sleep if it doesn't get a billion plays or whatever.
Is that why you guys stepped back for a while? Because there was a hiatus, right? There was a time. I remember you had a lot of conflict about it, going back and forth on whether you wanted to stay rapping or not rapping. And I know when you had the kid, it became even more.
Yeah, it becomes. Well, especially
Is that fair to
when
say those things?
Yeah. Because it's a plethora of things that led to it. Like COVID was one thing. Like if you can't go ahead and like really do shit anyways, then there's not really much like pressure to go ahead and do shit. But even like personal life things, like trying to figure out the balance, because like especially because it's around that time, 2018, 2019, we were really starting to like build traction. So it made it difficult when you have to like keep moving and keep going and be outside all the time and still trying to make the time to parent and be just a person. So taking it was a good thing because I think it allowed us to go ahead and be able to work through the things that we had going on with ourselves and figure things out and grow as people. And then inevitably, because it's kind of like The Godfather. Like you get pulled back into it because it's at the end of the day, it's just like
it's a part of you.
Yeah, like
They pulled me back.
like I don't think now, like as much as I could probably take a 10, 15 year break from rapping, and all of a sudden it'll just be like I gotta do something.
Yeah.
Like I could never just fully step away from it. Well, I like the shit too much.
I feel it.
My mom died in early 2020. Help Yourself came out in spring of 2019, I think, or summer 2019. I think it's summer, yeah. So I already knew that was happening when the record came out. Like she had terminal cancer diagnosis. So like then I was going through all that, like, and then COVID started like in her last like months. So people could I'd like stay in the house and people couldn't visit her or anything, and we didn't have a funeral at the time. Like they just took her away in the night, and that was that. So like that, not to get even I don't want to get any darker than that,
Yeah.
but it was rough, and I think that made me try to reprioritize things. Like maybe I need to focus on my regular life, like the dream. Help Yourself wasn't this huge leap in growth that I thought it was going to be. Like take us to the next level, get a deal or whatever. So it's like I need to worry about my job. I need to worry about my life. I'm married now. I got married 2 years ago. Like so much has changed in my life, and for the better. I feel like I'm a more mature person. But
it makes you prioritize things differently.
yes, yes. But then like some Brett Shoemaker who he does Don't Let the Scene Go Down on Me. He's a promoter for like rock stuff, and he does the booking at Bottle Rocket. He also was on the board of Roboto, the Roboto project in Bloomfield, and he hit us up for the 50th anniversary of the Roboto project and offered us a decent money to do it, the reunion show.
How was he familiar with you guys?
We played millions of shows at Roboto.
We played a shit ton at Roboto.
And just in the whole DIY rock scene. Like there was the era like after this golden era that you're talking about with the rap, where we like went off and started doing lots of rock shows. And that scene took to us really, really well.
Lots of crusty basements.
Yeah, like a lot of basement shows. Yeah,
I can see that. I can see your sound playing well.
Like alternative, indie kind of scenes.
Shout out to everybody tuned in right now. I see your comments, Joe. I appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, Joe Long.
Big Joe. What up, Joe?
He said he's glad to see you guys are still at it and didn't give up.
That's right.
Hey,
that's right.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
People
I
definitely
didn't mean to interrupt. I just want to make sure that the people know we.
Oh yeah, no, I've been meaning to shout out Joe. I saw what he's saying earlier. But yeah, it made us feel like what we did resonated with people and they didn't forget. And then Jeff Benton with Hellbender Vinyl like reached out and like, hey, you guys want to do a record? Like, I'll help you with the vinyl. And that's when I was like, oh shit, like we have support still after all these years. Like our record must have meant something to the city. It's on some level. And that's when we started like, well, let's make a couple songs, and then the songs were dope, and then like let's try to make a record, and we started smelling ourselves again and believing in it, and started snowballing. And I think it's very difficult for us to do this without like trying pretty hard, at least to make it and then put it out there. So here we are.
So there's a lot of stuff that you guys said I want to unpack for sure. So I think it's a common thing whenever I talk to artists, especially artists that are seasoned like you guys, right? That you go through a period, right? When you're doing music because you love to do music, is initially why we all get into it. Then there becomes a period where you're doing it for other reasons besides that. And it takes some of the heart and soul out of what you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't become the same to you because now you're pandering to an audience. Now you're doing it because like I need to be signed now. Now you're losing sight of why you originally got into it. And at some point in time, maybe you take a break from it, maybe you reevaluate, but you get back down to the essence of why do I do this?
Exactly.
Why do I do this, right? Like I do this because this is what I love. It's a part of me, and no matter what I'm going to be doing in life, I'm going to be doing this to some capacity.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other portion of it is there's people who you made fans along the way who are in different positions now, and they're like, hey, I want to see you back and doing this, and it pulls at you, right? Like you said, it is like The Godfather. Even though I think I'm getting out, they pull me right back in. It's a real thing. For sure. So you guys started doing a residency, and you kind of got into that already. How did you guys feel about that, especially being a hip hop act, hip hop bass act? Did you see this as an opportunity for the hip hop culture, for the hip hop scene?
I honestly didn't even think about it like that until someone else brought it up. I think as we were halfway through, it was always a dream of mine when I was young. Like, oh, it'd be so cool to just have a residency at some dope spot in the city where I could just perform like once a week.
So this is something you always aspired towards anyway. Okay.
Especially like once I've let go of like making it. Like this is like a cool like established musician thing. Like set up at some cool spot and just play your stuff, and. So that was the idea of it, and then it kind of became this like variety show kind of idea where we like book some special guests and we talk a little bit about the songs and we play old stuff and we show
Almost like some Rat Pack, Dean Martin. Sings.
yeah, exactly. Like your variety show, and like showcasing new stuff, playing old things, classics, solo songs, but yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything about that? Thank you.
I mean, I think I will say this only because we've directly seen like a result of doing it. I do think it was more important, or at least the concept of something like that was way more important than what we might have thought.
Right.
Because again, like going back to what we were saying about the pay to play, like people need to have a space they can cut their teeth, or even just spaces where it's like, okay, you've gotten past one level, you proceed to the next. And these are the sort of things like being able to go on and play a show with like other artists, whether they're newer, established, whatever, and like being able to have those genres and cultures and fan bases crisscross like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's not just important for like hip hop in Pittsburgh. I think it's important just in general for
Underground
music
music.
and underground music and indie music in Pittsburgh, because we, just like what we do and merging different things to create our sound, we did it on a stage.
Yeah.
And so maybe more people will do things like that. I already know that there's the Rap Cafe at Club Cafe that they do.
Goots runs it.
Yep,
Yeah,
Goots runs that. That's like what, every quarter,
It's
every
monthly.
Yeah, I think that's another monthly one. Like, shouts out to them
There's
because
a
that's
there's a
awesome.
cool
And they're
scene.
doing,
There's a cool scene. I think that's the next wave. Honestly, like that's where the next generation's kind of incubating. And there's a lot of good artists that go through there, and it's different sides. Like, and that's what. There's another cool thing about the old days, is it was like guys from the hood and people like me from the suburb, or like if you were dope, that's all that mattered. It didn't matter your style. Like you could just hear all kinds of pop
think it's
sounds,
more
and
cliquish
trap
now?
sounds. I think
As far as like sound based anyway.
I think there's bubbles, and I think there's been bubbles before, but I feel like social media has created these bubbles, and because we don't interact in person,
more
that
siloed off.
and the COVID probably encouraged that a lot, is isolation, and just like different generations too. Like I don't know who the young people are, and the young people don't know who we are, so it like takes time to bridge some of those gaps.
Right.
But yeah, that's really cool that's happening, I think it's going, it's cool. If we're inspiring things, then that's just a bonus to what already we're doing.
Yeah, so you talked about creating the sound that's your sound on stage. We don't have to get into it too much because we're going to definitely play some music as well from the new project. But you talked about creating your sound on stage with these different artists and different acts, the things that influence you, kind of being able to blend that on stage to show what you enjoy and what makes you you. And that's one of the things I enjoy about you guys. You have a very unique sound, right? It's not cookie cutter at all, right? It's going to be something that's different. What are some of your influences in the music that you make? Like who are some of your influences, or what bands are some of your influences?
I feel like Gorillaz first and foremost.
Yeah,
is
that's what I was
usually
gonna
Gorillaz is pretty much the foundational block, especially if you're familiar with the self-titled album and the contributions that Dell made to that. Even the first two albums.
The first
we had
two
De La
albums,
Soul.
because Danger Mouse and MF Doom and stuff,
Yep.
but even more so the first one because it's so dusty and sample based. But the second one, Danger Mouse, sounds a little cleaner. But that first record, because it's like, kind of an indie rock singing, like the British like singing with the like Dell's killer raps like on everything, and what is it, Stan the Automator that produces the beats on that first record, and I love that sound. It feels very like post De La Soul, but with like the Blur like British rock sound mixed in, and that just appeals to me on every level. So that's kind of like channeling that, and maybe we don't always sound exactly like that, but it's the approach.
Right.
It's like the collaborative approach. It's hip hop but mixing it. Hip hop's always the base for us, but then it's bringing whatever we want. If it's electronic, if it's dancey, if it's rock, if it's metal heavier or something like that.
You always had like a bluesy tone to me as well.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I think you have a real bluesy tone to a lot of stuff you do as well. Do you listen to any blues? You ever?
I'm into like, of course, like the Rolling Stones and like classic kind of blues rock stuff. I'm really into a band from the early '90s called the Brian Jonestown Massacre, and they're very blues rock based. And like Bob Dylan, like blues stuff too. And actually, in the last few years, because of those, I'm like, I need to go back to the source, like Howlin' Wolves and stuff like that.
See what their influence.
And like, yeah, to understand like these are the origins of the soul of it, and to
That's
not,
how you know you're a student of it, because you're willing to do that type of digging.
because I just don't want to be a facsimile, like a copy of a copy, and then lose the heart of some of that stuff and the grit and what where that stuff comes from. But yeah. So blues is a part of it, but then there's like the indie, like experimental art kind of side of it. But I don't want to get so far into that it's pretentious or it's inaccessible to a regular person.
Right.
Like I want it to be catchy.
Yeah, you still want it to be consumable.
Yeah. And then, do you want to talk about the raps? I think you should talk about the rap side of things.
Oh, as far as like the rap side, I think that going like back to like Def Jux era, like underground rap mixtape era, like general sort of like stylings and approach that people had, like that mixtape era, like for some people you just had to be there to truly understand. You just had to be there.
It was a special World Star Hip Hop.
Oh yeah, World Star, Dat Piff, like
Two Dope Boys,
Hype
Beast,
all that stuff. Those sort of people, and even now, like in a more modern sense, like a Kendrick. I still personally
Tyler,
like Kendrick, Tyler, me personally like Freddie Gibbs, Larry June, even like getting into some like Griselda things. Like I think I love listening to Conway because I think he like stacks rhymes and uses interesting schemes.
Yeah.
So like that sort of like catches me to go ahead and try to like not copy his schemes or anything, but just try to go ahead and like
approach yours
come back again and like find those words within the words and everything. You know what I mean? And really try to do that and like technical flows like Freddie Gibbs.
Like Stove God got some good hooks.
Stove God
could inspire me.
Stove God is dope, and even like I think even like in a motivational and almost like being able to implement how at least I live and everything and talk about that, like a Larry June sort of thing, being able to just like be open and talk about things and be like and try to like
Freddie
motivate.
Gibbs is so good at rapping, by the way.
He's incredible at fucking rapping.
He's so good at
he
rapping.
is
We
incredible.
appreciate a good rapper for sure.
You know who else? I don't know if you guys. I try not to talk about people who are already on too much on here, but somebody else like that for me is King ISO. I don't know if you guys ever tapped into King ISO. If not,
King
I
Ice?
recommend King ISO.
ISO.
Yeah, he signed a Tech 9. Just crazy. Just crazy. Really good at rapping. Like you hear somebody who's like so good at rapping, you're like, damn, like I need to step my shit up.
Yeah.
I call those people aliens.
Yeah.
Those people that are just like, damn, like you can just do this thing.
Yeah. But to tie it all in, you guys have a lot of those moments as well, and it shows in the conversation I'm having with you how you guys are technicians. A lot of the stuff that you do, they're real intricate rhyme schemes, and even the delivery and cadence on them are a lot of fun. But if you know that it's a lot of skill that goes into it, and that, like I said initially, that was what attracted me to the sound anyway to begin with, was the amount of time and the amount of effort you put into these things. Is that something that's conscious? Do you guys put a lot of time into it, or does these things come pretty easy for you?
I put years into going ahead and getting to the point that I feel like I'm at now, like I'm just really being a student of it and just learning and like having that ear to sort of break down how someone goes ahead and do things, to be able to understand it, and then be able to find ways, like, and then being able to try for myself, like how someone goes ahead and does something, and then seeing where I can go ahead and take it, or maybe this doesn't work for me, maybe this does, and being able to go ahead and ultimately create my own style.
Yeah.
I've always been a rhymer. Like I've always been into very rhyme, like Nas or Eminem or what have you, rhyme-oriented guys. So I think that's what got me into Def Jux, because like everyone on that roster was rhyming their asses off. But then I had to like pull away from the lyrical miracle, you know, because that takes almost away from from people understanding what you're saying. Like, if you're using big words all the time, or your flow's offbeat all the time, because you're just like, this is super complicated, super complex. I'm going over your head. I realize that there's just like, it doesn't resonate with a lot of people. Like, they don't feel it.
Coming back to making it more consumable. For the
Yeah,
audience.
but also, like, I still want to rhyme my ass off. So I started then rhyming with like 1-syllable words, 2-syllable words, instead of 3-syllable words all the time. Like, and still mixing them in. Like, it's still all tools on the belt. It's just if you do lean into one too much, then I feel like it loses something. And so I've been finding those balances. And then for me personally is finding my delivery. As if like over time, I've not enjoyed. Like, I did not like the way my rap voice sounds. Sometimes I still don't like the way my rap voice sounds. But it's always something like I'm experimenting with, and maybe I'll rap high, or maybe I'll rap low, or.
You feel more comfortable with the melodies being more melodic?
I can write a hook. Like a melodic hook, I can write so easy. If I have to write a hook that's like rapping, it's much more difficult
more
for
effort.
me. Yeah.
For sure. So I want to get in some of this Rust Belt, if we will. Anything? Oh, we could pull up videos, right? The title track the first track has a video. So should we just watch the video?
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
bump it.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about this
Lich, yes.
Tell me a little bit about Lich.
So
LICH, BBGuns.
So a lich is, I think there's probably real life lore behind it, but a lich is also like a D&D monster. It's like this undead sort of magical thing that won't quite go away. And
Well, it's like a dark wizard that, like, if they're getting old and they're like gonna die, so they try to use like dark magic to make themselves like zombies that live forever. So it's like they sell their soul to like live forever, essentially.
which also sort of reflects the times, because that's why the cover art is like the, like the undead politician sort of thing, because there's some of these older politicians that just
Like hang
Won't
on
let
to
go.
power, hang
just
on
say
to
won't-
power
won't
and do
go
whatever
away.
it takes, and despite like what it might cost to the people, regular people. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
probably got to move that way.
Yeah, no, this is it. We're good. No, thank you. That's what we need.
I like that, and I noticed that a lot of your music, especially with this Rust Belt project, has meaning. You guys are very intentional with this project, and especially for the times we're living in. Right, it's such a time. Right, there's so many things going on in the world, and so many things that we now make the norm that shouldn't be accepted. Right.
Absolutely.
There's so many things that we accept that shouldn't be accepted because we're so desensitized to these situations. So I like the fact that you guys are bringing this stuff to the forefront. So what was the inspiration for the video?
I think it was trying to reinforce some of the same kind of themes of like chaos and decay and like decaying of America, and like that's like kind of the concept of the album. So like the paint, like we're splattering paint all over, and it's like red, white, and blue paint, and it's like supposed to like represent the chaos. And then there's like, I think I'm like, have a sign, and I'm like a protester, a conspiracy kind of person, and it's supposed to like represent something like that. And it's just kind of, and then Joel is the preacher, and that's his. You talk about the church.
Yeah, that church that we filmed in actually is my family church. My granddad, he died a couple years ago, but my granddad was a preacher for 50-some years. And he had preached at a different church for a while, and then he had gotten over to this one, and it was given to him by the old pastor that was there before he was the main pastor. And so whenever we were talking about the video, I thought about the contrast between like the two sides, where you have like a preacher trying to like telling people to like love each other and do all that, but that still isn't quite resonating and working the same way. And then you have the conspiracy theorist on the other side. So I'm grateful to have had the opportunity. The new pastor there now, she allowed us to go ahead in there and film in there and do our thing. Super grateful for that, and it was just cool to be able to be in that space, considering the significance of it for me.
Yeah. Did it weigh heavy on you going back there at that capacity? And
Yes, because if I recall correctly, I think had been the first time I had gone into that building since he had died. Like not that I was like trying to actively avoid it or anything,
Yeah.
but like I just
never had
didn't.
much reason to.
Yeah, I didn't really have much of a reason to, and
Yeah.
like just the energy and everything. But I'm grateful that I did because I think, and like we'll probably get to it, but the second single, like it just felt good to be able to pay homage in that way.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, let's get into the video, man. This is Lich, BBGuns, streaming on not yet. When is the project releasing? It's not streaming on all platforms.
Next Friday.
116. Yeah,
116
this
next
Friday.
Yeah, this Friday coming up.
This Friday.
Are you?
I watch the skies all turn gray. I close my eyes and turn away. But if my body starts to fade, my mind goes shopping like a
They lie, cheat, and steal for any power they can pilfer. I bet you sell your neighbor out for 30 bits of silver. All I see is Judases who think that they're improving shit. Co-signing foolishness, man, this shit's lugubrious. Gave you every spoiler, but you spurned the pot. Thinking you in syncing with the shit because you earned a lot. Your shit is stinking, ego shrinking, watch them squirming, squawking. I'm just in the food perusing news while I burn the pot. It's really crazy, future went from bright to hazy in an instant. A storm is roaring through, it shocks the system. All the laws they bought and pitched them, now you missed them. It wasn't in the script, so how'd I flip into a victim? Screaming out, Jesus, please just relieve us. All of them deceived us, why don't you believe us? Diversity ain't hurting me, immigrants and diseases. Driven by living right, give a fuck who it displeases.
I watch the skies all turn gray. I close my eyes and turn away.
I'm my own doctor, I'm my own resident, I'm my own scientist, I'm my own president.
Fingers right in my mouth.
My mind goes shopping like a
Yeah, believe whatever's weather for the hell of it. Reality is evident, I never see it ending. Shit.
The killed democracy was them, then you and me. These schoolhouse rock dropouts are suing me for truancy. All I need in my feet is to tell me who to be. Got no reason believing the evil really pulls the leash. Criminal system get you to pick against your interest. All the bliss and the simplest of existences. With little ticks fed off of TikToks and Pinterest. I bet some of them would choose death before a pinprick. Welcome y'all to the Brown Nose Clown Show. And if it don't make my clout grow, yo, I'm outro. We're about to break ground with the founder of the iPhone. The hounds are howling in Palo Alto. This a gilded age. If you make over $1 million paid, or you living in a gilded cage, in the real ill children pay. Can't take it to the grave, man, you still a slave. I watch the skies all turn gray. I close my eyes and turn away.
I'm my own doctor, I'm my own resident, I'm my own scientist, I'm my own president.
But if my body starts to fade, my mind goes shopping like a blade.
Believe whatever's weather for the hell of it. Reality is evident, I never see it ending. Shit.
BBGuns running it back, and we coming in the back, and we gonna get that dub. See these fiends coming right back, as we running that crack, and we doubling that up. Feel the need bubbling back when you stumble right past, cause I'm gonna get that stuff. Just cause you're rubbing that truck, you're lucky, you dumb, you fuckers ain't that dumb. I watch the skies all turn gray, I close my eyes and turn away.
I'm my own doctor, I'm my own resident, I'm my own scientist, I'm my own president.
But if my body starts to fade, my mind goes shopping like a blade.
Believe whatever's weather for the hell of it. Reality is evident, I never see it ending. Shit.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Josh was just a creative guy. Great
I like
idea.
it too. So that was Lich by BBGuns off the upcoming album Rust Belt. So the Rust Belt album, right? So what was the inspiration for the title Rust Belt?
We were just sort of trying to find names originally, and then over time, as like the sound and everything came to fruition, and again, like thinking about the times in which we live in, and much like Pittsburgh and the areas around it, you know, some people would go ahead and say Pittsburgh is like the farthest East Coast city that you can get. Some people would say Pittsburgh's in the Midwest, and in the Midwest, and all the manufacturing factories, it's all coming kind of starting to crumble and everything. the America's starting to rust and crumble and all that, it sort of just felt appropriate as a title, especially with all the factors included.
And then also, like, we're a little rusty, you know. It's been a while. I think the belt is supposed to be like some like champion belt, like we're the best, you know. But it's rusty, you know. Like, so we're putting it back on. So it's like on multiple levels there, with the America and Pittsburgh, and then even ourselves.
That was a good catch. No, it's very appropriate, right? Because you know, manufacturing is like the heartbeat of America, right?
Absolutely.
And it's the heartbeat of, like you said here, whether it's steel or whatever type of manufacturing. And like you said, we're seeing a lot of that crumble around us. So I think it is appropriate for the times, and especially given the times that we're in.
And like the institutions also of like the government, you know, like
Rusting away.
it's like
crumbling.
crumbling away and falling apart, and we're going back, we're going backwards, you know.
What do you think's at the root of that? That's at the root of that, us falling backwards. What do you think is like at the core of?
Do you want to go first? Do you want me?
I mean, there's just like there's one person's name that is going to come to my mind. It's the president, the current president of the United States. But outside of that, I think it's also a cultural kind of thing. Like, I think with the TikToks and the social media, and not just TikTok, but like the misinformation and propaganda, and like everything you see is like, you don't know if it's real or not. Like, AI is now another level on top of that. It was already a problem 10 years ago, and now it's going to get even harder for regular people to know if what they're reading is real or not. Or like, you know, who do you trust for information, and like even regular news. And like, I was a believer in regular news for a long time, and that's like getting bought up by like billionaire Trump people, and everything's changing, and it's just hard to know for even a regular person, or for me, let alone a regular, you know, average Joe, that is not like clued in.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to deal with, and how do you navigate it, and how do you get the word out, and it's frustrating, and I can see why anyone would be like check out of all of it altogether, because it's just so overwhelming and just so disappointing no matter what happens. Because even if the person that sucks less gets in, you're still like disappointed on some level.
Yeah, he still sucks just a little bit less.
Yeah, or even if it's a significant amount less, it's still you're going to be disappointed on some level. And it's hard to explain to a young person, especially like 'cause getting into it, like it's going to suck no matter what.
Yeah.
So you have to choose the path of least suck. Yeah.
No, for sure.
I think it's part of it is like untruly dealt with wounds that we have from history.
Oh, absolutely.
And not just
as a nation.
and not
Absolutely.
just with like slavery and the treatment of black people, but like the treatment of the Native Americans back in the day, even the treatment of the cultures and the people that would eventually like sort of fold into what now creates like the American white person.
Yeah.
And I think
You're saying
that,
like their origins, like the Irish, the Italians, the Greeks, and so on and so
yes,
forth.
exactly.
Different waves of people that came here.
And like I think whenever you have those sort of things, you don't deal with them in the correct manner and face them, you can't truly move past them. Like, as I'm sure you understand, like whenever your young black kids understand more about these sort of things that go on than like young white kids do, because like we have to know in order to navigate, because if you do the wrong thing or you're in the wrong place, simply for being in the wrong place, you could end up in a fucked up situation. Like, and I've been in fucked up situations because of that. So it's important to have that sort of awareness where other people go ahead and like almost shield their children and even themselves as adults from those sort of things, to kind of keep intact like this weird this bubble of like everything's fine, all the things that have happened were somehow necessary to create a better world, da 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 da, blah 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 blah, however you want to justify it. But
Never really
now,
addressing it.
but now the real problem now is because everybody's phone has a camera on it. Anytime something fucked up happens, everybody sees it from 15 different angles.
Instantly,
Yeah,
too.
and instantly. As soon as
Within
it happens,
like an
boom,
hour,
it's
yeah,
on the internet.
it's like 20 angles.
And you all see it. It's on the news and everything, which goes into what he was saying about media companies getting bought up by these billionaire Trumpers. Like, then once you go ahead and start doing those sort of things, you start controlling this media.
Control the narrative.
You can spin it how you want to,
Instant spin,
or
yeah.
keep certain things out because you can just be like, no, we're not going to.
We're
run
gonna
this,
air, we're not running
which,
this. Yeah.
Which creates a whole problem because then you're curating the truth. You're not just letting the truth be the truth. Because the truth also isn't necessarily a good or bad thing. It just is. So instead of treating it like it's some sort of like it's a Demogorgon or some shit for like
Right, Stranger Things.
like instead of treating it like that, like some sort of creature or monster that's going to eat you alive, you just have to treat it like what it is. Like, this is the truth. Why did this happen, and how can we fix this?
There's healthy ways to go about it where like people don't need to feel like they're being attacked, about things. I think that
that's also a part of it. It's hard to people have a
yeah.
hard time talking to each other now about stuff like that.
Everyone
because
gets
it turns
defensive,
into-
really
It
quickly.
becomes so emotional.
Yeah, that too.
So I want to tap into a couple of things you guys said, and certainly about the social media and the impact of so much media. I think even more to your point, I think now people can listen to only things that they agree with now, which is dangerous. Now
Yeah.
you don't have to, if somebody has a different opinion, you don't
Block
have
them.
to listen to it.
Yeah.
You can just go ahead and listen to what you like all day long. You can look it up, and your algorithm is going to feed you more and more of what you like. At one point in time, you had to watch the news, and it was presented to you as such, like you said, with the truth. And whether you agree with it or disagree with it, you still had to face it.
Yep.
These times are less like that. So you do have a lot more people in a bubble of where there were a whole bunch of people who believe what they believe, and it just feeds the beast. And what you said about growing up as a young black man and having to know how to navigate things, there's a book by James Baldwin called The Souls of Black Folks, where he talks about living in two Americas. There's a black America and a white America, and if you're a black man, you have to learn how to navigate both of those places. As opposed to if you're a white American, you can just live in that world and never have to really cross over if you choose not to. So those are great points that you guys brought up. So I certainly appreciate you bringing that to the forefront and bringing that to the music as well, which we're going to have to get into more of that Rust Belt album, of course. But before we go any further, tell the people if they want to follow your journey, if they want to check you guys out on social media, they want to see any of the latest releases or shows you have coming up. What's the best way to do that?
Instagram, BBGuns PGH. Same thing. You can always check our Facebook. We're BBGuns on there. Also, bbguns.bandcamp.com for if you want to purchase any of our music. We have merchandise on there too: shirts, records, tapes, all that sort of stuff. And then what is it? BBGuns Music on TikTok.
Yeah.
Which we started dipping the toe in a little bit on that, but yeah, BBGuns PGH on more or less everything.
Okay. And they can stream the music the same way, BBGuns?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Music
on
is
all
streaming
streaming
everywhere.
platforms. Yeah.
For sure. Make sure y'all tap in. All right, so what should we get into next? Should we do another video?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
sure.
We have
Got
our
a lot
other.
more.
We put another video out now.
So
I think
Crying
2 weeks
in
ago.
Walmart?
Yep, Crying in Walmart.
Tell us about this. Why are we crying in Walmart? It's the
So,
happiest place on earth.
is it? Is it? The price. That's it. It's a song about loss, first and foremost. It's a song about, I lost my mom. He lost his grandfather, who's like a father to him. So those are the two main things. Also, I was trying to have a kid, and my first kid, and now I am. They're actually due April 1st.
Congratulations. You say they.
What's that?
Did you say they?
Yeah, she.
Okay.
Thought
Thought you
but
was having a couple of them.
no,
Like,
just
twins,
one,
bro?
just one.
Congratulations.
And so that's all cool. But at the time, we were having issues with taking a while, getting older, and just I think that was an element too of like, what if I can, or what if it doesn't happen, and
Start thinking about things that you never thought about before.
yeah. So just like, and then so thinking about loss and the end of life, and trying to have a baby, and it's like the beginning and end, and it's one of our heaviest tunes, I would say.
Probably the saddest the actual saddest.
Lost Soul is sad if you're familiar with the lore, but this one I think might top it.
All right, let's get into this. Crying at Walmart, BBGuns. Make sure you check out the video.
lost inside the back rooms of my mind. I promise I'll be back soon, I'll be fine. I often wonder what's on the other side. Ain't been right since Mama died. Thinking dark thoughts hard to resist. I wonder what it's like not to exist. She knew I was thinking like that, she'd be pissed. But she never ever stopped being missed, yeah. And I don't really want to be alone. I've seen people come and people go. You can't plant a seed and see it grow. But when you're gone, I'm seeing ghosts. I don't want to say what I want today. The old days are coming back. Can't give up just what I can. And I don't want this life, but I don't want to die. I've been down but climbing back, and it takes time, gotta try to let go. Easy come, easy go. Getting high to beat the lows. I don't know why I'm keeping hope. We all gonna die 6 feet below. When it's my time, we'll wind a run. Whether the reaper or the gun. Back to the ether from whence we came. And in the darkness we shall remain. I wonder if my pops can hear me as I write this. The tears are near him. I hope he's proud of who I am, of how I speak, and where I stand. I always knew this day would come, but when I didn't know. I wish that I could see you one more time before you go. I won't forget the lessons that you taught me, oh no. I know we'll meet again, my friend, till then I have to go. Some things in life you just cannot replace. The feelings that well up inside you cannot erase. Been running and running and running, I can't keep the pace. My spirit is tired and mired, I'm hearing it break. I fear it will take me the rest of my life to move forward from this. Mentally drained every day by haze to pouring a spliff. My cousin keep buzzing my phone about doing some shit. So the best way to honor the fallen was using my gift. It took me a while to smile, I still feel like wildin' now. Tears in my eyes every time I sit in silence now. Hear you inside my style, guiding my rhymes and vows. I'm thankful for 32 years, it sucks that our time is out. I'm grateful for 32 years, it sucks that our time is out. And I don't really want to be alone. I've seen people come and people go. You can't plant a seed and see it grow. But when you're gone, I'm seeing ghosts. I don't want to say what I want today. Easy come, easy go. Can't give up just what I can. And I don't want this life, but I don't want to die. Easy come, never climbing back, and it takes time to lose.
Hell yeah. Crying at Walmart
Yes, sir.
off the Rust Belt album. And that's coming out next Friday?
Yep, the 16th.
Yeah, man, for sure.
This Friday, yeah.
This Friday,
coming up.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
this
for
Friday
sure.
coming up.
We're on Saturdays, playoff football,
That's right.
for sure. So, yeah, that was powerful. So, beautiful things come out of loss, right? And like you guys said, with the loss comes a lot of gain too. Right? You're in a different place now. Is it emotional when you listen to that song, knowing what it means to you guys?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I think for me, no. Like, hear me out.
All right.
Like sometimes it is because like I do think about that, and I do think about my granddad a lot. Like I still do, like every single day.
Yeah.
So sometimes it does because it's like, in a way, it's like a reminder, like a very like right there sort of reminder, which can be difficult.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I feel like I did an adequate job on this in honoring who he is, because he was a big he liked like country and bluegrass music more than he liked anything else too. So I think being able to do this song on this type of instrumentation, channeling that sort of energy, that sort of delivery and everything, I feel like I did an adequate job honoring him. So so sometimes it like brings a smile to my face sometimes, but yeah, sometimes it is emotional and it is like a
Like
reminder
the
that
same
he's
thing,
gone.
make you laugh, make you cry type.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was difficult for you to perform it the first few times.
Yeah, the first couple times it was rough.
Yeah.
I hurt my foot getting mad and stomping on the stage and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was difficult. It's difficult sometimes.
I think for me, I think we're two different people in that. I think when I'm creating, it's kind of like letting things out for me and like getting it off my chest. And like for you, obviously it is that too. But when it comes, like for me, it's like almost like it helped me get closure. But when like this is just my outside perspective, so feel free to correct me.
No, go ahead.
But it feels like that, like it brings out something in you when you perform that song. Like you relive something of that.
Well, yeah, I'm someone that they say would have like a bear personality, so like I kind of like internalize a lot of things, and then when it comes out like big.
Yeah.
Whether it's like I'm mad about something or like super happy about something, whatever. So that's sort of like the manifestation of that. It's like a big reaction to something like that. Right. So, but it's like I said, it's like sad, but it's also like cathartic in a way.
Yeah.
Like
Man,
I was glad to go ahead and get it done and like perform it those first couple times, because then it was like moving past that
and
emotional
it added to
side
the power of it. Like everyone that was there was like they could see it and feel it, and I think it added to that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
For sure. No, I think it's I can feel it for sure. And listening to the song, especially after you guys give the background and the history into it, even more so. So yeah, certainly appreciate that. So you guys have any shows upcoming?
So there's a listening party at Hellbender this Friday, where we're gonna listen to the record and talk about it, and then we're gonna go directly from there over to Poetry Lounge and do a little set for the Rappin' Things 22. Mark the Bull offered that to us, so we're saying that's the official after party.
Pretty dope lineup, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Honestly, and he always books the good lineups, but it's pretty stacked, for sure. And so yeah, he's letting us come through and get in on a set, and so that's happening. And then 227 is at Spirit is the album release party, and so that we'll have the vinyls by then. We'll be selling those.
Spirit out in Lawrenceville?
Yeah, Spirit. Yeah.
We'll be downstairs, not
The
upstairs.
lodge,
right?
yeah.
Downstairs.
And that's what Melt and Barbados Black and Hike Keach and Kane Canary, and Hike Keach is who performed Hike Keach produced 8 of the beats on Rust Belt, so he's gonna be there. And then we're currently working on booking a tour right now for the end of February, early March, just for a couple weekenders, kind of New York, Philly, and stuff.
Yeah. That's what's up, man, for sure. I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate you guys joining me. I was very excited to have you on. You know, it's a special thing, like I said, and especially because I have a connection with you guys going back that far and seeing the growth and where you come from in the music, and you know, to see the direction that you went in with this album, and to see that you're still sticking close to your roots of what you've always been doing with the music. So you know, I'm looking forward to this very much. I do have segments that I've been plugging into the podcast.
Hell yeah!
And
we love a segment.
One of the segments that I have is Creative Red Flag Test. What's your pettiest studio habit, or a sample you wish you could steal without getting sued, or the most chaotic note you ever received in the studio? These are creative red flags. So it could be your pettiest studio habit. It could be a sample you wish you could have, or the most chaotic note you ever received from someone, whether it's Lazy JP to you, or you to him, or a producer.
The craziest message?
Yeah.
Like in the studio.
While creating, yeah.
And the first one was the pettiest studio habit. Oh, I'll tell you right now, I don't allow chewing gum in the studio, but I don't think that's that petty. Like that's pretty normal for a professional place. I did like chorus and musical stuff in high school, and I was on football. I played football too. Like, but I wasn't just that. But like that was a big thing, and you always got yelled at for having gum on stage.
Yeah.
And so like I started applying that because like why would you have chewing gum in the studio? You're recording music. And if you're like practicing or whatever, it's just like, why would you do that? So like stuff like that.
It stuck with you.
Yeah, stuck with me before for sure. Just like and like good vocal techniques. Like you got to stand up. Like I don't want no one recording sitting down in my studio. Stuff like that.
What's wrong with your posture? Get right.
Yeah. Get your posture. You got to get that diaphragm right. You know, stuff like that. I think, but outside of that,
pretty good actually.
Nothing too crazy.
That's pretty good.
I don't know about the craziest message, but as far as a sample goes, samples, like I would sample pretty much anything from like any of my favorite animes as far as music goes if I couldn't get sued for it. But I'm sure like as soon as you really went ahead and did that, if it was recognizable, it would get flagged.
Oh,
so
for sure.
like there's like orchestral music from like Gundam and like Attack on Titan that I would love to go ahead and see. Well, I would love to sample, but I don't think.
Actually,
Hey Jesse, you hear this? Jesse's a big anime guy.
Oh yeah, I was saying
yeah.
if I could samples, I would take if I couldn't get sued, and I said like some of the music from like Gundam and shit like that.
I now just thought of the sample that if I could take it, I would love it, and it is Blur Song 2, that's the song that goes woohoo. I would love to sample that. Oh my god, I would love to make a song on that. Oh yeah,
that would be a good
that
one.
Is fire.
Or the outro for Samurai Champloo 2. I actually have that
that's
song
probably
on
a
my
beat,
playlist.
yeah.
That shit is incredible. I mean, that has a beat anyways, but I would love to just sample that.
Didn't Das
sample
Racist do a beat that
yeah, they
samples
did.
that?
The rapping to you. I was listening to
with
that in the car on my way to your house today.
Yeah, we're big Das Racist guys. But yeah,
cool, man.
sorry, derailed the segment, but that was it.
That's good. That's good. That's what I wanted. All right, so I appreciate you guys for joining me on the world's dopest podcast, the Molly State of Mind podcast, down at Bunch of Bull Studios. Before we leave, you guys got anything you want to promo, shout out? I know we talked about the shows.
Just listen to the record.
Yeah, man.
Listen to the record.
This Friday.
And if you like it, tell somebody else about it. You know, that's how the algorithm is not, a kind mistress to us. So tell somebody about it.
Tell a neighbor, tell a friend. Yeah, Rust Belt 116 this Friday coming up. Release show 227 coming up.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, BBGuns PGH on just about everything. Shout out High Keach. Shout out Billy Hoyle. Q-No rap name. C. Scott. Shout out Corio. Airy.
Copyright.
King Canaro. Shout out Copyright
That's the biggest
too. We got a
feature
copyright feature.
Yeah, biggest
shout
feature
out
we ever
Copyright.
had.
Shout out Walkman. Shout out everyone that helped to make this record happen. Barbados Black for modeling for the cover. Yeah, shout out to everyone that made this happen. Shout out to everybody that's rocked with us for all this time, new and old.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't think that y'all gave a shit about us. And
Andrew Denz did the Crying in Walmart video.
and shout out Denz with the lens.
And he does all that analog stuff. He did a bunch of that at our residency as well. And then my brother Corey Pitcavish did the Lich video, and he's done a lot of my videos in the past.
That's fire. No, that's for sure, man. It's good that you keep that rapport with people. It seems like you guys, when you make a relationship, you certainly value it and nurture it, and that's why you're able to sustain the way you have, even after taking a hiatus and stepping away. People still remember you for doing good business and being stand-up individuals, and that goes a long way. That's one of the things that people have to realize is doing good business and being stand-up can take you a long way. So
it's a fact
for sure. But once again, man, I appreciate you guys for joining me again so much. I thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was a good time. I knew it would be. This is the world's dopest podcast, the Marley State of Mind podcast, down here at a Bunch of Bull Studios. We're actually coming on Sunday. We're doing a stash spot. We're doing a special stash spot tomorrow at 6 p.m. Make sure y'all check in. We're going to be smoking some of that good. We do a stash spot every Friday. Jesse does with the boys. Sensei sits in sometimes with them, and they'll review some different brands.
Cool.
They smoke like 3 different strains.
Okay.
The scale to 1 to 15.
Okay.
It goes on.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a little something different. So that's always a good one.
Yeah, we'd love to have you guys on sometime.
Yeah, that
for
sounds
sure.
great.
I
Love to.
work in the game, so I would definitely go ahead and slide.
Yeah,
for sure. That
he's
would
a-
be a lot of
he's
I
fun.
got a lot of Cali brands, like anything that's like real branded work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
We don't mess with any of like that spray pack or anything.
I would certainly hope not. I'd be concerned.
Yeah.
I'd be concerned for your health.
Oh no, it's the real deal. It's the real deal, for sure. So make sure y'all check out Stash Spots. We do that on Friday. Make sure y'all tap in with Greg as well on The World We Know for his spot here at the Bunch of Bull Studios. But until then, I'm out. It's Marley. Peace.
Hey.